Welcome along to the next instalment of our Landlord 2020 Vision campaign running throughout January, and all this month we are kind of playing on the term 2020 Vision, because it is of course 2020 this year, to look at what landlords should really be focusing on over the next 12 months. And we're going to be meeting lots of property experts to get their input on that. And joining me now, I'm very delighted to welcome once again to Property Tribes property developer and prolific landlord John Howard. And John, first of all, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. Let's hope it's going to be a good one. I'm sure it will be.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. I think, you know, landlords have always had to have a lot of focus, but I think for this year it's more important now than ever. We can't look into a crystal ball and see what's coming down the pipe at us, but we've got to really stay focused, haven't we?
Really important to stay focused, and to be the 2020 is great because it's clear vision, and you need a clear vision. You really need a clear vision this year because you've got extra tax to pay, you've got all sorts of things happening at the moment. So what's really important, and my message is, do not get your flat vacant, keep it occupied. So don't go and try and get an extra £100 a month and they move out, because actually that won't work for you. You're better to keep it occupied all the time.
No, I think that's such an important tip, John. And you know, we've got our Smart Landlord guide as well from last year, and I'll pop that link to that beneath this video because there's loads of fantastic tips in there. But tenant management, it's something that landlords do need to have a very clear focus on, as you say, because you know, things are more challenging. There's much greater tenant mobility that we're going to see this year, and really keeping your tenants happy should be at the heart of what you're doing. And if they do pay on time and they're good tenants, I agree with you. I don't think it's right to rock the boat with a rental increase.
I certainly wouldn't rock the boat. They're your customers, and they've got high standards these days. You know, when I started 40 years ago, the standards of how people lived in a property is very different to today. It's much higher. They want a hotel room, basically, and they are your customers, and that's the difference now. They are your customers. They've got lots of choice. They don't have to be living in your property. They can live in a number of different properties. So you have to look after them. You need to, any repairs, get them done immediately, engage with them and look after them.
Yeah, well, hear to that. Now, John, yourself, you're always very busy. You have numerous projects going on. I know you finished 2 major projects last year.
Thank goodness.
Yes, a bit of a relief. What will you personally be focusing on in 2020?
Okay, well this year I really want to buy blocks of flats. I want to buy large portfolios of flats if I can. That's really going back to my roots in a way. Yeah. I'm not too keen on doing too many more big developments at the moment, because also the other thing is I'm busy with my mentoring, I'm busy with my seminars. My 3rd book on auctions comes out in February, March time, so I've got a lot going on. And if I buy portfolios which have already got income in them and trade them and refurbish the flats and so on, it gives me more time to do some more fun things I want to do this year.
Well, that's fantastic, because it's so important to have a work-life balance, isn't
Absolutely.
it? I think, John, because you've been in the sector an investor for over 40 years, it's interesting that you've actually got stuff in or strategies in your own archive from like decades ago that you can kind of revisit, and it's interesting that it's come back into kind of fashion for you.
Well, you know what it's like? It's like having a hit record 30 years ago and then someone recovering it again for you. And the great thing about experience, you can't beat experience. Even if you have a problem in the property world or the business world, they can't take away your experience. And at the end of the day, if anyone is struggling out there at the moment, remember, they cannot take away your experience, and that's worth a lot of money.
It is. The best investment you can make
Absolutely.
is most definitely in yourself.
Absolutely.
And will you be doing any kind of more major developments, or have you kind of drawn a line under that for 2020 and you're just going to focus on your blocks of flats?
Well, what you've got to remember is I'm a deal junkie. So if someone rings me up and says, John, I've got this, it needs developing, it's half finished or something, we need your help, I'll be there, no doubt. And I'm talking to the government about a couple of projects where they've had problems, where they've asked me to look at them, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So as we just close out here, John, you've been in the sector, as we said, for over 4 decades. 2020, a brand new year. I know that you keep the faith with property. You're not going to change that view, are you?
Not at all. Property is a great industry to be in. My favourite day is the 1st of January because we can get cracking, get some deals done.
Well, thank you so much for taking part in our
Pleasure.
Landlord 2020 Vision campaign, which will continue throughout January. So please tune in to Property Tribes daily to enjoy our content. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do click across to our actual main site, which is propertytribes.com. John is a member there. If you've got any questions for him, he's
Delighted
always happy to answer them. So keep staying tuned in to propertytribes.com. Landlord 2020 Vision campaign is going to continue over January.